And yes, we are live again.
Oh, echo,
There we go. That's
echo,
better.
echo.
That doesn't echo. I know we have. I'm trying to use the laptop to like share the screen because I can't do that on my phone. But we're going mainly on the screen, like or from phone. So yeah, that was how that happened.
Yep. Oopsie.
Happened just like that. Please share
Whoops.
this out. Please so you don't get the music intro this time. It's fine because when I
Right.
upload this to Anchor and Spotify and Apple Podcasts and all the podcasting platforms, we won't need to cut it.
Right.
I just deleted it because they
That's
heard us
right.
spatting too.
Oopsie.
Which is, who cares? I mean, we spat.
We live within very close quarters. We deal with each other all the
Hey,
time.
Kathy, you're the only visitor so far.
So sometimes it comes off.
And
a
yes,
bit
for the
snippy.
podcast and people that aren't, that are listening, this is live. We go live on Facebook and YouTube
Yes.
and do the podcast live. So tonight we're going to try to make it through
The seven hermetic
the
principles.
7 hermetic principles, which I know we'll make it through. I'm just
Oh yes. Well, because it can be taken short and it can be taken long, right? It's all about the content in which we put into each principle, the definition, the examples, etc.
yeah. And we've taught this in class in our
And we
metaphysical
have,
mystics
yep.
class.
But
For those
it
who
is
are interested in
never
that master
ever
class,
a bad time to look over them
right.
again.
And
to remind
this
yourself.
this is kind of our introductory class, right? It's free. If you'd like to leave, show your value or show that you hold value in the show.
Yep.
Check out the description and the link on YouTube, and check out the title. It shows up as a title, but it's actually the description of the live. Right. So if you back it out, you can see what I've written down, and just follow my link tree. And
there are emails there for you to leave ideas.
Let me take down the curtain.
Take down the curtain.
Right, hold on a second. Find out where to take down the curtain.
I don't know what he's talking
about. Right here. Just I'm just gonna let our.
He's the StreamYard guy.
Yeah, that was the funniest little argument though.
It was.
Because I picked a bunch of stuff up and moved it, and then she moved it right back to where I was.
I'm like, dude, I need this spot for my spot.
It irritated the shit out of me. Like, what? Why are you doing what I just did? Like, I just cleaned that.
I know, but you put it all up in front of me, man.
All right, so where are we at? Yeah, take this out. And that's us, and that's the link tree. If you would like to, throw a tip, a donation down. You can find the.
I think there should be. Oops, I squealed in my ass. Anyway.
You whistled, you mean?
I whistled. Anyway, also ideas. Do we have a good email for everyone to email ideas? And,
they can just go to my they can just if they want to if you want to write to us, I mean, you can send me a message on my website, which is www.psychicshaman333.com. Or just send us both a message on Facebook.
Right.
But if you really want, if you want to send us a message, our email, the email to go to is fowlerar0@gmail.com.
Hey,
that's
Tina.
fowlerar0@gmail.com. And that's where you can send ideas. Like I said, those that are producing the show are those that are
contributing
here
with
now,
ideas,
sharing
with monetary means, with
yes,
involvement, with
just your energy.
Exactly. Yep.
Hello, Tina.
Heard it. Dude, maybe don't let
it's all right. I'm not ashamed of that.
Yeah, I mean, shit happens. We're human.
It was just like a regular, couples argument. Like she moved some shit and I didn't want it moved.
He put it where I didn't want it, and I ended up putting it right back where he didn't want it.
It's kind of like not being on the same page, not going with the same flow. That happens sometimes.
Oh, shit.
And then I pushed end broadcast.
And then he has to go live. He pushed end instead of...
Because we were already live. I was just kind of giving you guys some music.
Exactly.
Some music to kind of set the tone.
Right. As we were arguing.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Terrible.
That's funny.
We're doing good, Tina. Tina asked how we're doing. Tina,
we are good.
So tonight we're going to talk about the 7 Hermetic principles. Is there anything else we need to talk about? Yeah, value for value show. If you'd like to leave a donation, we appreciate it.
Yep.
We welcome them. And whatever you can throw our way, we appreciate.
Yep.
But we are this is kind of a deprogramming podcast. It's like all that shit we watched all our lives on TV and hear all the time. You know, there's a lot of deprogramming that needs to come with that.
Right.
Because we are heavily programmed.
And understand, as neurological beings, our human, it's all about the programming, right? So when they say you are what you eat, I mean, to a degree, yes. Our thoughts, our mind, truly and ultimately bring us to our fruition, right? Knowing that we're in an environment, in a terrain that feeds us so many things that can harm us at the same time, understanding and equalizing, balancing out the positive and the negatives, walking in that middle ground, right? That's the key.
Yeah, and well, you're talking about the balance, walking in the zero space.
Well, no, utilizing everything we have at our disposal as human beings, but understanding how the human works.
Yeah. Well, I think this
better...
is just the setup. The Hermetic principles were written how many thousands of years ago? I don't know.
Millions of years.
But they were before Christ. I'll tell you that. They were before Yeshua or whatever.
Whatever
that
our
deity,
main
that archetype
thing we're looking at right now is.
So basically, a lot of this stuff is ripped off from. A lot of the stuff we're going to read is original, or more original, and so these 7 Hermetic principles are basically like a guide to having a better life. That really does help you have a better life, have more clarity, be able to take action and succeed at things that you never thought you would. It's becoming the player and not the played.
It's understanding you're human from a higher level. Yes. Right? Nowhere ever throughout any of these principles do they take away the element of a human. But when you can understand these principles in your human, everything becomes that much easier.
Yes. Share this out, y'all, if you can. We are live. Let's make this a big one. Let's get as many people in here before I start reading over.
Can.
Yes, and it's much appreciated. Everything y'all do.
We say less.
But yeah, we're still making it. You know, we're still getting our stuff out. It's just it has been very
tough.
Has been tough. Yeah, the reach has been tough. So the shares do matter. The hitting of the emojis on Facebook. Yes. Hitting the subscribe on YouTube. Hitting the bell.
The comments, the insight, those matter too.
So
I mean, if you just want to be a prick and like a troll, maybe not as much, but like,
but if you want to be a troll,
if you actually have some insight that even is against what we're saying, please, by all means, engage in the conversation. Excuse me.
What was that?
That was a hack from weed.
Oh, you hacked?
Yeah.
From weed?
Uh-huh. I mean,
it's not hard to do.
I said anyway. Trapped in there. Anyway, my bad. Sorry, y'all.
So, how's everybody out there? What's the temperature out there for everybody? How y'all feeling? Yeah, I'm stalling before we read these principles. But anyway, what I was talking about with these principles was each one of these principles, if you follow them, you'll notice your life changing. You'll notice that you have more of a grasp on your life, not control over it, but a grasp.
Yes.
You navigate it better.
Yep.
So I urge everybody listening and everybody that's going to be listening to the podcast later on, to heed these 7 principles. They're important. Yes. I'm going to share them on the screen here. Let's see. We'll get started with that now. I just need to share the screen here real quick. Find the tab, and that is right here. All right, so how does that look? Oops. All right, so this is the 7 Hermetic Principles. This is by MBG Mindfulness, and it's written by Sarah Reagan. So give her props, cite her.
That's right.
She says, many have sought to understand the laws that govern our universe. Some say there are 12, while others, like Hermes Trismegistus, meaning Hermes Trismegistus, the thrice great.
It
So
means he's lived three times that he knew he was living a life.
And you guys have all heard of Hermes. He's the guy that has the winged shoes. All right, because I want to get to a point, eventually we're going to get to a point where I show you that all that mythology that you thought was mythology is actually a lot of it's truth.
There are certain pieces that bring a truth to you. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But Hermes Trismegistus say there are 7. Trismegistus explains the foundational laws of our reality in his 7 Hermetic principles. Here's what the principles are all about and how we can use them as a source of inspiration and empowerment. And that's true. I agree. So first we start with, let's read the whole thing. The 7 principles are the foundation of Hermeticism, a branch of spiritual philosophy dating back as early as the 1st century AD. They were outlined by famed author Hermes Trismegistus, who is believed to have written the Emerald Tablets and Corpus Hermeticum, 2 highly influential ancient teachings. His work would go on to influence both ancient Greek and Egyptian cultures. Oh, a little bit too much. Where'd I go?
Well, while he's finding his space, let's remember how the Greek and how the Egyptian societies played out. Which one do we pay attention to more now? Just one, right? It's like we pick sides every time.
Yep.
Anyway,
okay, so we're back to it. Let's see here. He was known in his time as a great master of the universe and is said to have lived for thousands of years. Over time, the 7 Hermetic principles were passed down by word of mouth from teacher to student, and eventually one day in the early 20th century, the teachings were compiled into a book called The Kybalion, written by the 3 initiates. Mm-hmm. Today, they remain an occult source of wisdom, separate from any real religion, but powerful nonetheless. And yes, these are powerful, especially when you ponder.
Well, because you can look at all religions and see their idea of the principle being taught.
Yeah. And while the 7 principles are just one way of understanding the universe, they aren't so constricting that they cannot be studied alongside other spiritual philosophies. Here's what each of these principles is all about. All right, we're going to start with the principle of mentalism. Understanding that everything is of mind. Everything starts with the mind. Everything is created by the mind. Mm-hmm. Everything that you can see. You see your hand. You look at your palm, or you look at the back of your hand. You look at yourself. Even if you can pinch it and you can feel it,
there are parts of reality
by the mind.
There are parts of reality that will play out no matter what, and there are parts of reality in which you can control, mm-hmm. because all is mind.
So knowing this, and knowing that's where it starts, this is where we talk about mindfulness.
Yes.
And everything we think can be a projection, is a projection. Controlling our thoughts or managing our thoughts better,
yes,
helps us bring more unity, more harmony into our lives, and able to deal with more adversity.
And here's the thing: understanding that allowing all thoughts, don't sit there and try to stop a thought that's like random in your brain. If you have a random thought that's like out of the ordinary, you go, "What the fuck was that?"
You can here we go from the Kybalion. This is a quote. I like this, the way she put this.
Yes.
Really good. Well done. All is mind. The universe is mental. The Kybalion.
Oh, sure.
The principle of mentalism states that the universe is akin to a mental projection. The is like manifestation 101. Or this is, I think, is what she's trying to say. There's a little misprint there. Which is all about using your thoughts to shape reality. For anything to be, a thought must precede it. Though this principle is believed that God is consciousness, or thought, and the universe is a manifestation of the mind of God. Using this law, we too can harness the power of our minds to create the life we want.
And yes, that's basically what I was kind of getting to, right? Understanding that there's a reason that our minds work a certain way, and being able to understand you're human, how your avatar today, your mind works is key. A lot of people want to take you into realms of just be all mind, fuck the body. But then what good are you doing here in this realm of bodies? Right? Finding your own inner balance, understanding that it takes dark and light, it takes walking a certain path, and knowing when to use either, not one or the other. It's not a team game. It's dark and it's light. When do I dig down into my inner child, and when do I reach up to my higher self? What's the right time for right now?
Right.
All is mind.
And here's how to apply it in Sarah Reagan's words or thoughts. Consider the initial thought that led you to be able to read this on whatever device you're on, or even the thought that is most influencing your mood right now. When we recognize how much our thoughts manifest every day, whether internally as a psychological or emotional state, or externally as the things we do or the places we go, we see that when we can control our mind, we control our lives. And I wouldn't want to say control. I don't like to use the word control.
But
nothing against the author.
Every now and again, though, when I'm doing certain hypnosises, I do use certain words.
Well, it's trying to hold. It's really trying to
is.
hold on. It's a relationship, though. It
Yes.
can't be like a controlled thing. If it's a controlled thing, then it's not.
Well, this is why I say understanding that your personal control is knowing how to use all of your tools at your disposal at any given moment. To someone else, it may look like you're out of control, but you're in full balance.
But she also goes on to say we can get better at this through spiritual practices such as meditation.
Yeah.
Which help us train the mind. And programming the mind is a thing. You're not controlling it, though. You got the whole unconscious and subconscious, but we'll talk about that some.
There are levels of a lot of things. That's right.
So, okay, second. Or does anybody have anything to add on all this mind? Do you guys disagree? Right. Do you agree?
Are there ways in which you feel like,
think about it for a second. Ponder on that. That is the first principle. That is the first law, whatever you want to call it.
And for me,
and these are laws that really everybody should follow.
Right.
We don't need 5,000 or 100,000 laws. Like there's only a few. We only need a few laws.
Right. You need very few basic laws to truly understand what it is you're doing in this world and what is right and what is wrong. Which is why I say, knowing when to use my lower self, my darker side, and knowing when to use my higher side, my upper side, to get through my life in this realm in which I'm living is the ultimate key. It's not about figuring out how to be just light. It's not about just being just this thing. It's incorporating all of it and walking within the balance of it. Not being so dark that I'm just manipulating everyone all the time, and not being so light that I'm like just convoluting everything, right? It's being in that balance, knowing that for this person, maybe you need to take a little dive into the dark side, and for this person, you know what, hey, yo, you need to let go of that darkness a little bit. Let's travel to the light, right? Understanding it is a balance of the two that truly makes the magic happen.
That's right. And here's where we get into the balance of the two even deeper. Number 2, the principle of correspondence. As above, so below. As below, so above. The Kabbalion. We've all heard this quote before, but maybe you never knew it was Hermes who first coined it. It's closely related to the first principle of mentalism and states that what we hold in our thoughts and mind will become our reality. It explains the many planes of existence, including those of lower and higher vibrational frequencies, and how they're connected. meaning they're all connected. Everything is connected. That is that oneness that you hear about, that word that you hear all the time, oneness, unity consciousness, Christ consciousness.
All that can, would be, could be, should, I mean, it's a possible, like it could have happened like this for me. Guess what? It probably did.
Right.
Which is why it didn't happen for you this time. Right. Understanding that every plausibility has played out at some point in time. And most of the time it's happening right the fuck now. Right. Because we're all living our own experiences today in the now.
Yeah, that's right.
And somewhere it's happening.
So just understanding that connection with whatever is done here on this plane of existence it ripples out into other planes of existence. That doesn't mean everything is the same.
That's right.
It means it's all connected.
Right.
So here's her idea on how to apply it, Sarah Regan. Applying this law is about understanding your connection to the world around you and how you're how you're showing up for yourself in the universe through your thoughts and subsequently your actions. When we have a firm grasp on how we are interacting with life and how it is affecting us, we can recognize and break patterns, live in alignment with our highest good, and feel harmonious and with everything there is.
Right. Even when it's not happening properly, you're like, okay, I get this. You know what? I can see how it's playing out like this, and you're at peace with it, right? Like maybe you still need to take an active role, maybe you don't, but it's being okay with how it's playing out for you. You can see, okay, well, you know what? So much of this was happening that this was bound to happen too, and being at peace within yourself because you have balanced out all of your nows for this moment that seems a little bit chaotic, to be able to take that step back and observe and learn.
Yep. And that really just understanding that connection, that everything you do ripples out.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter who you are. Nobody's free from it.
Yep.
This is something you can try to challenge as much as you want, but what you do echoes.
It does.
All right. Number 3, the third principle. That is the principle of vibration. Highlight it here.
I like vibration.
Nothing rests. Everything moves. Everything vibrates. The Kabbalion. I love how she starts with each one. She starts with the quote from the Kabbalion. And yes, I would recommend everybody watch
basic principles.
or listen to the Kabbalion or read it. It makes a lot more sense than any of these other religions right now, I'll tell you that. Yes, believe it or not, the idea of vibes has been around for a long, long time.
That's right.
The principle of vibration states that all things, both physical matter and spiritual energy, hold a certain vibration. Basic science tells us atoms are in constant motion, as if the universe itself, even our hearts as they beat, give off different vibrations depending on our emotional state. And when we're vibing high, we're able to avoid low-level frequencies that don't serve us.
Mm-hmm. So I want to bring this to a very basic level for a lot of people, because I come from a family with a lot of different ailments to them, right? It's supposedly hereditary. Have you ever been in a perfectly normal, like rested state, and all of a sudden your eyes are doing something funky? You're like seeing the world way differently. Well, for many of us, we get panicked at that point, right? We're going, oh, fuck, what's happening? But, have you ever just realized that there are times in your life that these inconsistencies or these panic states or these changes kind of come into our periphery? Like it actually happens within our vision. It actually happens within our physically noticeable self, right? Whether it's that suddenly this thing made me feel this way, but I know it was this thing, or I was looking at this thing and I've always been able to see straight, and all of a sudden my eyes started doing this like wiggly thing, or it's those noticeable changes in your physicality. and the connection to your spirituality that truly bring you to your balance, bring you to that place of truly understanding the experience in which you're living.
Okay, should we read
Yes.
her how to apply it?
Yep.
Okay, this is how to apply the principle of vibration. This will look different for everyone. But to apply this third principle, you want to not only do things, but think thoughts that allow you to be in the state of ease, where your body is vibrating at a more positive level, which is a higher vibration. Applying to the first two principles can help you start to do this. You might be noticing all these principles are deeply interwoven. With this principle, we acknowledge that we have a power to control our vibration rather than our vibration controlling us.
So as a hypnotherapist or a person that does this type of hypnotherapy, truly understanding that our mind contains everything. Well, it's within our DNA as a whole. It's whatever. But anyway, our mind is what is our connection to everything, right? Understanding and knowing how to program your mind properly, or understanding when programming is taking a part in your life so that you can either take balance of it or remove it or whatever it is you need to do. That is the key thing. So, and I know a lot of those people that want to like leave the human, just leave the human, just think all about mind. No, it is utilizing your body to understand your mind to help bring you balance. They call it control because it is within our own thought processes and the actions we take that bring that control. But ultimately, it is understanding the avatar in which you're living in, your thought, your mind, how it works, the programming that has taken place. How is it serving you? How is it not? And how can you change it for your best good?
And also just the vibe, like, and sometimes this is like, okay, there's no exceptions here, because sometimes you're in really bad vibes. You're around bad, or like just bad vibes.
You're in bad juju.
Whether it's in your you're with nobody, or whether you're in a group of people, right, you're going to feel those bad vibes. Now, sometimes that's going to be your own fear, right, and something you don't understand. Maybe you're not vibing as high as they are. Right. Or maybe you're not vibing in the same place they're vibing. Doesn't mean it's a bad thing. Now, there's sometimes when you get like these red flags that come up, these bad vibes, you got to understand those. You got to pay attention. When there's opportunities that come up, what does the vibe make you feel? Are you feeling excited? Are you feeling nervous? It's just understanding the vibe better and how everything vibrates at its own frequency.
And don't allow the emotion to bring up an immediate red flag.
Right.
Allow yourself the time to truly process what you are feeling and why you're feeling it. There are many times where excitement and happiness will bring me to a place of stagnation and stuttery, like false stability, right? Because I'm moving outside of a place that I got comfortable in. It is understanding when you need to make these steps without allowing the fear, without allowing the repetition to take place. And the more you change your body, especially when changing your mind, the better. So if your goal is simply to just meditate and figure out what's going on, allow your body to assist you in that. Now, this is where, like,
also hooking up to that vibration when you're healing, or you're doing any kind of healing work for anybody else, or just finding that flow and that vibration that vibrates properly with you and keeps you in alignment. That's what you want to find.
And this is what I'm saying. A lot of people will use yoga, certain body movements, and look, these things can and will help you, because the more you bring your breath, your mind, your inner self to your physical self, the better off you are. But it does not have to happen exactly that way. However, it is that acknowledgement and that connection that is key.
Yep. Are you ready for us to move on to number 4?
Let's do it.
Number 4 is the principle of polarity. Let me get to here. Everything is dual. Everything has poles. Everything has its pair of opposites. Like and unlike are the same. Opposites are identical in nature, but different in degree.
That's right.
Extremes meet. All truths are but half-truths. All paradoxes may be reconciled. The Kabbalion. And that's very true.
It is. It is.
The principle of polarity explains that seemingly opposite things are actually one and the same at varying degrees. A simple example of this is hot and cold. Cold is just the absence of heat. And they're born one thing. Or they're both one thing, excuse me.
Yep.
Temperature. Physical matter and spiritual energy are the same thing. With spiritual energy vibrating at a much higher level, such that it can't be perceived by our senses. Love and hate are two ways of experiencing the same thing.
Yes.
A relationship towards something. This is the foundation of alchemy, or the ability to transmute your experiences at will. Anything to add to that, babe? Meaning love and hate, good and bad.
If you feel something extremely, okay, now look, I know, like the other day, my honey was getting on me with allowing my daughter to look at her life as traumas because they're really just highly emotional aspects of her life. But that's basically what that is, right? When
she's in that state of thinking traumas.
Deep, yes. Yeah. When we dive deep into a place. Now, a lot of us want to think we are so strong. I could never be. No, I'm paying too much attention for this to happen. I know what this is all about, and I am never going to let that happen. Understand, it happens all the time. The reason that this type of programming and the reason we need to understand these aspects of our life is so important is because to live an authentic life, it can happen that easily. And unless you are truly aware of those easy connections that can skew you, you can be skewed. Right. So to say, I've never been hypnotized. No one can hypnotize me because I'm just this or whatever. Oh, no, the psychedelics don't work on me because I'm this, that. And look, I'm one of those people. That's one of those people that said, oh, nope, that don't work because it didn't. Look, understanding the psychology of a life being lived is something that's always evolving, always changing. However, the basic foundations for growth are the same.
All right, you want to go over how to apply it? Her idea?
I don't know if I can.
Applying the principle of polarity takes a degree of mental stamina and involves shifting. Wait, yeah, she said shifting. Shifting the way you look at something. Polarity completely on its head. Take the hate you may feel for someone. Is there any way you can shift it to feelings of love? For example, anytime a lower vibrational emotion is bringing you down, can you recognize it, feel it, and transmute it into a more positive one? That's a pretty good way of putting it.
Yes. Because like the technique that I learned the other day that we did in class was basically that same concept without all the rules.
Right.
Where do you feel it? How do you see it?
Exactly.
Where does it put it?
And y'all comment in here what you're thinking. Like, how's this making y'all feel? Is it making sense? Next is number 5, the principle of rhythm. Everything flows in and out. Everything flows out and in. Everything has its tides. All things rise and fall. The pendulum swing manifests in everything. The measure of the swing to the right is the measure of the swing to the left.
And yes, let
Rhythm
me tell
compensates. Now we just did rhythm. This is rhythm.
you, from a human that deals with emotional imbalances, well, I think a lot of us do, actually, this day and age, to be honest. But the point is, yes, I've seen myself from one extreme to the other extreme. And thankfully, I've been offered certain opportunities that brought me to extremes to actually see those extremes. And it sucks to say that, but like, they were opportunities to see myself in those extremes. And that's the whole thing. When we want to go putting blame on someone else for making us feel a certain way, being able to take that step back and go, wait, why did I feel this way? Understand what you were expecting outside of yourself, understanding what you needed in that moment you weren't getting. You can therefore start to balance out what you needed from the pettiness of trying to put out to someone else what they were supposed to give to you. Right?
So the
That
principle
was
of
an
rhythm,
expectation.
closely related to the principle of polarity.
Yes.
The fifth principle states that between the opposing poles, there exists an inherent rhythm. The tides move in and out. We inhale and we exhale. Everything is in motion. Nature has its seasons, and so too we do.
That's right.
Do we, excuse me. Understanding this principle allows us to recognize our lives and the universe's natural rhythms, so we can actually work with them rather than having them working against us.
Right. I've been like going head on with this particular principle because for many years I did things a certain way, knowing that my life was going to shift. See, and that's just it. Understanding your shifts, understanding your place, understanding your poles, understanding the polarity of things, knowing I'm not going to be in this great place for fucking ever. Okay.
That's right.
I'm going to go somewhere else eventually.
All right,
and hopefully, yeah, let's go.
Go on to the.
Yep.
We're about going through on an hour. I want to let some
You're right.
people come in
You're
if they
right.
want to.
Yep. Shut up.
And talk about it.
Yep.
Okay, so here's how she suggests how to apply it, and everyone so far I've agreed with. Know that nothing lasts forever, and things are ever changing. As you get deeper into working with this law, you'll be able to work with your own emotional states and avoid a dramatic pendulum swing of feelings. It's thought that eventually the master will be able to completely transcend duality. But if you're just getting started, try becoming more aware of your emotional state.
Yes.
And using polarity. Number 4, the rhythm, to start getting more comfortable with the natural fluxes in your life. And I'll add to that and say, yeah, the natural fluxes, like things are just like, you're not always going to feel good.
Right. And here's
that pendulum. That's the rhythm that's keeping you balanced.
Dude,
in that zero
if I'm
state.
feeling off today, like I'm really feeling off. Like I'm not just like an off day where like, oh, it's one of those little things that I'm gonna get over in 5 minutes. But like if I am feeling off, it is allowing myself to truly understand where I'm at. Did I get so subconscious and so into my routine that I've neglected something? Have I gotten, you know what I mean? Because truly, when you're living in balance, these keys, trust me, take their play, but you feel in harmony with every aspect. That's hard to do this day and age, I think, for just about anybody. I know that there are people living in harmony out there, don't get me wrong, but understanding the balance, the wholeness of who and what we really are, and our individuality. Like, we all can get empowerment with a connectedness, but being able to put that into our individual being and how we work and how we are experiencing our life, that's the key. Our individual harmony.
Yep. All right, baby, you ready for number 6?
Ready.
This is my favorite one.
Yep.
Although it's my least favorite and my favorite at the same time because it's all in the same.
Same
just
thing.
Different degrees, right?
That's right.
The principle of number 6, the principle of cause and effect. We have one more after this, and we're going to open up the studio and let people come in if they want to and just talk about what we've just learned. Everything has its effect. Every effect has its cause.
Yes.
Everything happens according to law. Chance is but a name for law not recognized. Excuse me. Sneezing. Told you this is my favorite. That was 4 sneezes in a row. Holy shit. Must be good luck.
Yeah.
Everything is connected to the principle of cause and effect. For each cause of one thing is merely the effect of something else. Remember we talk about that echo?
Yes. Which is why I say
everything
when you feel
something else going back to the very beginning.
Yep.
Ask yourself, are you a cause or are you an effect? Yep. The principle is all about acknowledging the effects of our thoughts and behavior and how we may change them to bring about greater effects.
Yes. So now, just our last class, when I was asked about this whole, so if I don't have to see and understand what happened in my life to bring this feeling about and I can heal it, why is that? Okay. Well, basically, you brought yourself to an emotional point. You brought yourself to a point of extreme, right? Understanding the extremes. It doesn't matter in between. Because there are people that feel this with the simplest of things and people that feel this with the deepest and most traumatic of things. It really doesn't matter. The feeling is the same. I hate to say that. Trust me. I've been a victim. I don't like to say that, but ultimately.
Should we read her how it applies?
Yes.
I mean, I think we all know what applies, like karma.
Yeah.
Cause and effect. Those are the same thing.
Read it out.
So, when something doesn't go as planned or you find yourself unhappy, ask yourself, what was the cause? Many times we find ourselves reacting to the world around us, trapped in a back and forth of reaching our circumstances rather than forging our own path. Mm-hmm. When we take action to get the effect we want, we move from feeling like a victim to feeling empowered.
Or insecure.
And that's the whole thing. That victimhood has got to go. It's got to go. We can do a lot of things right now. Even all the control that's trying to be put on us.
Dude, yeah.
All you got to do is just do your own thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to have to fight for it sometimes. Yep. That's what freedom is.
Look, I have tried to be, and look, I basically have been. I've never had, anyway, the point is, the way the world would view my life's process, I know, I've been told it a time or two, this is a stupid person. Oh, you're just dumb. I can't help you. Anyway, knowing that you have an idea or a purpose that brings you to a certain space and being willing to, which is why I say it's always understanding that balance of everything you are, lower, upper, the works. You are not a higher being. Okay? Yeah, you are. You're not a lower being. Yeah, you are. You're not a human. Yeah, you are. Right? Can you integrate that without having some stupid son of a bitch saying, I got to put some chip in your brain to make you that? Yeah, you can. Okay? We have everything that we fucking need. Everything. It is how we choose to process, how we choose to understand. I want to say choose, understand, but look, I come from a family of a lot of different mental illnesses, as well as a lot of physical illnesses. I've dealt with some of them myself. However, I've also done a lot of things that were against what they were doing, and I feel like I'm doing better against than
because
with.
It's not against. Don't think about against. It's more about your own vibration.
Exactly.
Your own
understanding my ailments in a way of vibration. I know there's certain things that if I'm going to live a certain way, I'm going to have to deal with certain vibrations. I'm going to just have to deal with certain consequences because you know what? This is how my whole vibrational being works. And when I allow this vibration to take place, even though I'll work with it, I'm going to react this way. This is how the vibration is going to react. This is how it's going to sound. This is the way it's going to come out. No matter what, if I'm working with this vibration. But I want to work with this vibration. I enjoy this vibration, right? But I understand it's going to come out like this.
And you're going to deal with all vibrations throughout your
Exactly.
soul's life, which is millions.
So
billions,
understanding
thousands of years.
things, being able to put, look, I am a fairly young person that's been married far too many times in my point of view. Okay, if I want to bring on my judgment person, I'm like, pfft. And yet my soul can go, no wonder somebody look at you.
Yep.
Finish
your point so we can get out to the 7.
The point, yes. The point is understanding your human mind. Knowing that not every thought counts, but if it's taking space in your mind, give it some credit, but work with it. You've given yourself a challenge. Anyway.
That's right. So we're on the final one.
That's right.
There's one after this, and we could probably mention it.
And there's so many
we're
more.
going to keep it
really
quick,
ultimately
the one that
the basic
the one that we
ones
can
that mean
add
the
to
most.
it, which has been added by Mark Passio. If you guys have ever heard of Mark Passio.
Mark Passio is the bomb.
Go check him out.
If you want to see the antithesis to everyone and yet YouTube. Brings you to some reality.
I think it's the greater work or the great work.
The good works.
The great works.
Is it great?
Anyway, you just look up Mark Passio. You'll find him.
Mark Passio.
All right. So number 7, the final principle, which we're going to add one to this. Like I said, a la Mark Passio.
Mm-hmm.
The principle of gender. Gender isn't everything. Everything has its masculine and feminine principles.
That's
Gender manifests on all planes. Look about it.
Okay.
Hold on. Yep. The 7th principle states that all things have masculine and feminine qualities. Yes, the two sexes can be thought of as a physical manifestation of this principle. But as we are all coming to understand on an internal level, yes, all of us hold both energies. Mm-hmm. Think the left and the right brain. Masculine and feminine energy exists not only on the physical plane, but the mental and the spiritual plane as well. Yeah. The unity of these two energies is essential for creation, and when one has the balance of both, they're better able to apply all of these principles together for the maximum benefit.
Boom.
Having both of those principles, having both of those perspectives from a masculine and a feminine. And the masculine is the logical. The masculine is like the alpha, right? Where the feminine is more the creative, the compassionate, the loving.
And here's the thing. I want to bring it down to the basic of basic. If we want to bring it down to fucking black and white bullshit, feminine is black, masculine is white.
Yes, that is true.
Okay, now, we all want to head to the light, but have we not seen what full light can do?
Oh, you can completely be an asshole in the light.
Utilize the dark. Okay, dark is not evil. However, yep, you're right. You can hide some certain things up in there, like especially if you got it hidden deep in the shadows over here. Understanding there is a balance to this life, but both dark and light are necessary. Light is going to bring you to illumination. You're right. But it's the dark that is going to nurture and nourish this
and make
idea
you like
for
create
you.
Something for yourself.
That's
like
right.
You have to. In the dark is where you create.
That is right.
In the nothingness is where you bring things. Mm-hmm. That's your place, and that's their empty.
However, canvas. You see space. Space is where it takes place.
So we're going to read how to apply it, and we're going to let people in.
That's
what
right.
do you think, Red?
Okay. Yep.
So here's her idea on how to apply it. That is Sarah Reagan. Check her out.
That's right. I think we put the link in there if we didn't.
Accept all the parts of yourself and understand that balance is the key for self-mastery. Buddha called this the middle way. And it's all about the balance of masculine and feminine, of heavenly and earthbound, and of the mind, body, and spirit. Mm-hmm. when we can achieve this balance within ourselves, we are well equipped to harness all of these principles and use them in our lives for good. If this sounds like a lot, don't worry. These principles run very, 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 very deep, and it can take a long time to fully understand and embody them. I agree.
Right.
Each time you learn them, you understand it deeper. Like it's really repetitiveness.
Which is why I said the other day I did a class that I felt like was remedial, but I knew that because I had advanced peoples dealing with themselves, we could actually reach a place of success.
Yes. So we're going to finish her. Oh, I just moved it somehow. Sounds like a lot. Don't worry. The principles are run very, very deep. And each time you come back to them, you may understand them in a new way or on a deeper level. And in time, these principles can help you master your own mind and your life as a whole. And they can. Like really, I urge you all to practice these principles. You have to go back and listen to it. Go back and listen to it. It will be up on the podcasts or on our Spotify, and I'm trying to work on Apple right now. Spotify and Anchor. Yeah. But definitely on Spotify, go leave us a rating. If you enjoyed this, if you didn't, leave us that too.
Right. We are all about like taking in criticisms and understanding whatever. But no, really truly understanding your human spiritual connection. Dude, understanding you're human. Like so many spiritualists want to take us away from our body. They want us to feel good, which is great. Dude, it's awesome. I know. But can you bring that into your physical being?
That way. Like I'm like, let's go explore. Yes. And she's like, let's stay grounded.
No, baby. Understand, our humans got to be involved too. Look.
Our human is involved whether we like it or not.
Yes. But the more we involve our human in our healing processes, in our meditative processes, in our visualization processes, the better. Why do I say that? Because if you can make a change in the physical body, everything else will change with it, right? Now it's not just a thought. It's a thought that did something. And now I'm working towards something, right? It's a goal. It's because we are living in a physical avatar. Okay. We can be and do anything right now. You are right. But the balance, that understanding that we are living this lifetime, and we don't have to understand the whole of it to connect to all of it, to do what we're supposed to do, to be the best we can be. Like, we are okay and perfect within our flaws. We are okay and perfect within, as long as we are growing, right? We're not projecting out to anyone any kind of pain. We're not projecting any kind of whatever. A lot of people want to do past life regressions. Because, and I hate to say this, but it's the truth. They have an idea of something. They have an expectation.
I don't agree here with what she's saying, but just like, no, go ahead.
I know. I'm digging deep into my own self and the path in which I've taken. A lot of people either want a direct line to I've been and so I can, and you've given me the idea of what I can connect to now, right? Oh, I was Queen of Sheba. I got that. Okay, now I can embody it. Thank God I've been told I was this.
Yeah, you want to watch out for that. I mean, most of the time we're going to be kings and queens. Maybe sometimes.
Well, see, and this is what I'm saying.
But remember fractals too, though. Like
yes, no, because it's all for a different real. Show. It's all real.
That's for a different show.
All of fractals.
But the thing is like all these things we're learning, as far as I've learned, what I've learned and I haven't read everything, but Hermeticism is probably, or the Kabbalion Hermeticism, Hermetic wisdom has always rang more true than anything else.
Because it is a balance of everything.
Yeah, but it's not just about the earth. Like, you got to understand,
No.
the cosmos is out there too, as above, so
Yes.
below.
Yes.
But yes, we're in this earthly plane.
Yep.
This is where we're anchored.
Yep.
But who cares if you visit other places, as long as you don't get yourself so delusional
And that's what I'm saying.
that you can't live in this realm.
That is exactly the whole point that I have with connecting to your body. That's really the only point I have with connecting to your body. Understand you can be anywhere and do anything and experience anything, but stay connected to your human and understand your human has certain needs too. Don't go neglecting yourself from one side or another. Don't get so deep down into your childhood traumas and, oh my God, I had a past life where I died. I was burned at the stake, and oh my God. So now you're in lower life like all the time.
Right.
And don't go getting so, I was queen of Egypt.
Who says that? Nobody says that. Not many people say that. I've given plenty of past life regression.
But what I'm saying,
and they don't think they were a queen. That's
but what
kind of
I'm saying, babe, is don't get so lost in A, what you're learning, and B, if you don't see it clearly. Okay.
Right.
Don't get so lost. But I was a queen.
Because why do you need to strive so hard?
And don't get so like, but why can't I remember? We are neurological human beings that will embody all of it no matter what. Maybe for you.
Our name on Spotify is Break the Spell Podcast. So I know I couldn't find it yesterday either, so it's fairly
new, guys.
I just left the link if anybody wants to jump onto the live stream for a minute. Got a few minutes left. We've been going for about an hour, so we'll probably go for another half an hour, then cut it off, because our 2.5 hour long podcasts take forever to upload.
They do.
So we're going to try to keep it as efficient as possible. So anybody that wants to jump on. If not, we will end this and ask. This is probably the time we want to ask. You want to go ahead and ask and explain the.
Dude, this is a value for value show. We're asking for time, talent, and treasure. If all you can throw me is a few bucks, we fucking appreciate it. If you have an idea or a concept you'd like us to dive into, we appreciate that too.
Yes.
If you have the time to actually manage and moderate a show, hell yeah.
Oh, is it all one word?
So it's really all about what you treasure, how you value us, that we are going on, and what we are delivering.
But we're going to continue to do things like
we are.
And this is going to mix into our nomadic. We're not nomadic right now.
I know it
We've
sucks.
already bought land.
I called it nomadic, and I know
that's not where
we're going to change a new name, but we are still living kind of, sort of. I mean,
and someday we're going to be able to name where our land is on the street. It's going to be the Shambhala Road.
Dude, we have 3 acres. Shambhala. So we're going to be able to name at least one of those roads. I tell you what, I hope so too. And I want it to be the road too.
First, we got to start with the 3 acres.
Yeah. Anyway, that's right. Anyway, and it's all work and it's all a process. And look, I can be excited about it and happy about it. And it's great. Allow yourself to feel your goals. Maybe it's not happening right this moment. Allow yourself to embody the enjoyment you're going to feel when you reach it. The more you feel the goals you set out for yourself, the more you can embody the experience of what might be, the more likely it will happen. And it may not happen exactly the way you saw it.
And yeah, Anthony, if you missed it, go back and listen. Listen on the replay, because these are very important keys to life.
They really are. They really are.
If you follow these laws or these principles, your life will be better. I grew up in a
very mentally ill family, and I was tossed from program to program, and I was forced to really look. I'm not saying that I'm like all grown up and I'm like so mature and perfectly got this shit figured out, but I do understand that from a young age, we're seeking our needs be met. Okay. And from a young age, expectation takes place, right? It's my mom. It's where I get my milk. This is what I need. And this is the person providing it, or the thing, or whatever it may be. We develop an expectation from a young age. But being able to understand the expectation from the need from the expectation is what's going to bring us to our balance without placing any kind of expectation on anyone else. Oh, I wanted this to happen because I needed this to happen. So, understanding me as a human being, as long as this need is met, I'm not going to run into this issue. I need to make sure I'm eating breakfast as soon as I wake up, because then I feel like, you know what? My day's just whatever it is for you. I just have my cup of coffee. It doesn't matter how it plays out for you. Understanding how your human to subconscious consciousness works, your human to spiritual connection. Making sure that you are really doing your best to keep it in balance, no matter how it plays out. Dude, you might be a bitch. I'm a bitch. I'm a bit of a bitch. Okay.
Anyway,
but I know
value for value is where we were at, and then you went.
But I know,
somewhere.
well, because I know that what I'm doing for the best of the person.
So if you all want to become producers and you want to help us with the show,
yes,
send anything. If you have anything, like I know
ideas.
Anthony wants to connect with me, just send me a friend request, dude, and I'll we can talk on Messenger.
Yep.
Or if you want to be part of the can you share the Telegram link?
They're not already. Okay.
I don't think so. We're going to share the link so you can chat with us, and then you can chat with me personally or whatever if you want to. But if you want to send a question, or you have anything to add, or you have anything to send us, let us know.
We're
Either tag us in a post that you found on Facebook, or send me a email and let me know. And it's at FOWLERAR0 FOWLERAR0
Baby, what am I doing?
You're sending a Telegram invite link.
Yeah, but to which one?
Go to Telegram first and copy the link.
I did, but I think I did the wrong one.
Okay, so go to the top one. Like this. Sorry, guys, we're just working through it right now.
Yeah.
We did leave some links if anybody wants to join the show and talk about what we've learned. I know we don't get notifications out. That's why we're inviting you to this Telegram link so you can actually get all of our stuff. There
are so many messages I don't see for like months sometimes. It really makes me feel bad.
Hello, Angel.
Okay, babe, where do I find that?
It's right there, add members.
Oh.
And then invite.
And yep, get you. Yep, thank you.
We got sirens going on outside. I don't know what that's all about.
We're in California.
We're in California. We're in Utah hearing the same shit. So.
That's true.
All right, dead air. We don't want dead air.
I don't want no dead air.
You're not even on the same page with me. Well, that's the problem. Every time we sing together, you got to sing something else.
No, just do what you got to do for a minute.
Did you share it?
I did share it to one place, but yeah, share it.
I don't even know what you got me on right now. She left me with her phone, but I don't know how to share anything because she's not on our actual live. She's got me on Facebook somewhere. There we go. So I'm going to share it right now from Norma's account. See if I can do that. If y'all want to join the chat, let me know. We can talk other than when I'm live. Can actually talk whenever. There it is right there. I think, wait, what did she send? I don't know what oh yeah, that's it. That's it. cover shouldn't be on still for some reason. It is. Thank you. Yes, share this out as much as possible. Word of mouth is still the best way to advertise. So if you like what you're seeing, if you like what you're hearing, please share this out. Share it 3 or 4 times. Unable to click the link. All right, then just copy it and paste it in a new browser. I'm going to put the link up. But yes, the link tree, if you guys would like to donate, thank you. Give you props. You are a producer. Wait, that's not even the right one. Okay. Yeah. So copy that. I know that's a hard one to copy, but yes, this is the link tree down at the bottom left of the screen for our producers, those who would like to contribute, that have the money. If you don't have the money, you don't have to donate.
Just anything. Comment,
engage. We get it. We're in the same situation. So, and I do still donate to some channels that I like and appreciate. Mm-hmm. But if you'd like to leave a donation, it doesn't matter how much it is. It can be a big one. It can be $1. It can be $100. It can be $1,000. Whatever. If you appreciate what you're listening to, please, if you can, and it won't hurt you financially, throw a little donation our way, or a big one.
Right.
You can't copy it either.
Write it down.
Okay, write it down, and I'll give it to you on the screen. Hold on a second. We're doing good. Just finishing up. Here, I'll share this again. That's the link to the studio. No problem. We just went over the 7 Hermetic principles. Christy.
Hey, girl.
Christy knows what those are.
Yep.
She's learned in the Metaphysical Mystics class. Mm-hmm. Have to go to my website for that, which is www.psychicshaman333.com, and me and Norma both teach the class. Kind of like we're doing right now. This is more for the newbies or people that, want to learn more about it.
Or want to embody it and are just like, seriously, like, do you know how many of us are like playing softball with ourselves? I know. We just got to embody it already. Hey. Okay. Understand that we're playing at our own level. It doesn't matter who, what, where, when anyone else is. If you are secure in who, what, when, where you are, even if you are in a state of unknowing.
Annoying or unknowing?
Unknowing. Okay. Disknowing? No, unknowing. It does sound like annoying, doesn't it?
Annoying. That's annoying.
I get you.
Anyway, Christy's online. What's up, Christy?
What's up, guys?
Let me turn my stuff up. Hold on.
Yep.
Couldn't hear you for a second there.
What's up?
How are you guys doing?
We're doing good. How are you doing?
I'm fucking I'm splendid, dude.
Are you sure?
You sure? I am fan-fucking-tastic.
Good, girlfriend.
All right.
I am. No, I'm good.
How's things going with looking for the RV or all? Is any of that? You figured any of that out?
So I am in a very I'm in a peculiar position right now, and I'm just so like, I need to make sure that what I am about to do with the kids is
safe,
the most solid and secure, and just you know what I mean, like the most straightforward plan.
Probably the safest, but you got to think about what you're gonna. Okay, So you're just thinking about securing them and making
You
them better
have to
and
walk
making
in
their
a
lives
balance
better.
right now.
So
You
what
got-
makes their lives better? That's
Well,
it. That's what
anything-
You're walking in a balance.
Essentially anything, and so that's the thing too. Like I don't question myself as a parent to them a lot. I
That's
think
right.
that I know that
No, you
I'm
don't.
doing the best that I can, and I know that they
That's
know
right.
that. So that I don't falter with. I think I don't want to go somewhere where I'm going to have to leave and move again. And I think for me, that's one of the biggest things is, so Robbie, God bless his soul, this morning got up. You guys, he came into my room and he listed off. He was like, just tell my teacher, because they go back to school Monday. Just tell my teacher I have lice and that'll buy me a week out of school. No, so then he's like, well, can't you just tell her I have a disease? And then I can just like, so he is just not about school. Tyler is really quite upset, but he just has to accept it. So it's kind of one of those things where we're all on the same page. It's just, I don't want to do this to them again after this. And so,
no, I mean, you have
And
a secure,
look,
okay. The thing is, all you got to do is create like a shelter for them or have a shelter for them. You have free rent.
Right.
You know? I mean, that's your last. And if you can't, if you don't have to do that.
And if we have to, which I don't think
doing
we
that,
will,
you will learn, and I'm going to learn. You're going to learn before I do, and we do, that you have 3 acres to play on.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Like, if you want to follow the rules and like you are nomadic at the moment because we really
I don't think
can't
you'll
do
have to
anything
pick up and
permanent
move.
yet, but I don't think we
Just
will.
have to improve the land.
Exactly. All you got to do is move your fucking RV around that 3-acre lot. And like, dude, like, come on. So I scooted up fucking, like, you're not in the same 2 spaces, but you're not, like, you just moved up 5 spaces.
Well, it won't matter where I park on the land, right? Because it's your land.
Exactly.
As long as you're on your land, you're fine.
Dude, now, for me personally, I want to go plant myself in the middle spot.
So that means you go out there and you start getting seeds ready in your RV.
Yes.
Like to plant for the spring.
So
start creating like a garden and something that's protected from the wind.
Because you're the first one going out there.
It's going to be a geothermal or
I'm going to say,
so
try
I'm
to find that middle spot.
I'm the first one that's seen this place. You guys haven't even seen this place.
Exactly, girlfriend.
Okay.
You
We've
get
seen it, but only on
I'm so
film.
excited for you, for us, for everyone. But anyway, I planned on me being in a, seriously, no, what I suggest, just for the safety of everything, for everything flowing properly, even if we have to do it like unconventionally, find that middle spot. We got 3 acres. Find that middle ground in all 3 spaces, and you can't go wrong, right? You're gonna most definitely be on the space within that 3 acres.
And
if you find the middle
challenges we deal with them as they come.
Right.
Like we don't think about like that's the whole thing. A lot of things you're worried about is what I'm worried about, and I don't think we need to worry about it.
Which is why I'm saying, just find that middle
as long
ground
as we
within
make
all of
friends
it.
with our neighbors, and we do have neighbors.
That's right.
They're not that close. They're probably, I don't know, probably a half a mile away.
Right.
But anyway, where do you think, as far as the principles go?
Yes.
If you could pick one hermetic principle, where would it, like, what are you thinking about the most right now? Which principle? And they all connect.
No, that's what I was going to say, is that they all do connect. I don't know, you guys, because here's the thing. I believe in you guys, and I believe what you guys are doing. Period. And so because of that,
thank you.
Yes.
But because of that, I have followed you guys, and I have been with you guys for a very long time. And so I know that, I mean, it's like I say in group all the time too, if this is what we want and this is what it's to be, it's going to be, it has been. And
that's right. Yep.
Catching
that's right.
To do that shit. You know what I mean? Like it's
and you're welcome to stay there.
Because look, and that's what I'm saying.
I just took
because he took hit a pot. Anyway,
hit a pot. She sounds
I'm trying to say all whatever so that no one can do whatever.
She
anyway,
sounds like a PE teacher.
You took a hit of dope.
My point is that, girl, look, I'm going. If I have to go out there and start like doing something,
no. So we want animals first.
Spot.
So we want like, what I'm thinking is like planting trees all right away. Yeah. The trees need to be planted, and we're gonna learn how to plant them in the desert so they get water. Right. So we're going to take some time. We're going to communicate. We're going to talk to each other every day on how things are going, where things are going, and we're going to do it legally. We're going to do it right. And I think we're going to offer a place for people to camp.
Right. Like our vision is very large, but it's also very small. Like we understand we're only offering a certain
But what
thing,
we're going to do with the
and
money,
we know
which is going to
that-
be like
yes.
$10 a night, which is
Right.
God, try to go stay somewhere else
Right.
Yeah,
for $10
no,
a night,
But what
especially
I-
right next to the
Mhm.
petrified forest.
The only reason, the only thing I even brought up, like, be like plant yourself in the middle, is because
Yeah,
if
we
you
want a center space.
look,
Yes.
look, if you want to go ahead and bring out all the coordinates to like this,
I would say just go check it out first.
What
Just
are
go
they
check
for
it out.
reals? You can, but that's not your job. That's our job.
I think that as
So if I
far
were you, I just go plant
ahead. Can
yourself
we
in the
let her
middle,
talk for a
and
minute?
yes.
so I think I will say the principle of vibration. We're just going to circle back to that super quick.
Yes.
But out
Yep.
of all of this, I think that the principle of vibration would mean the most to me, because then when
Yeah.
you get to the land, I can feel the earth.
get
I can
that.
feel
Yep.
you know what I mean? And so I think
Yeah.
that would be a huge,
Like right now, you're just relying on your vibe because that's
Yes.
the one
Right.
that you need.
Which is kind
Right.
of what I'm telling
Most.
you. Hey, girl, I know it's
And
supposed
that's
to be
the one that
me in
you're
the middle
learning
of the
from
land,
the
but
most.
please go in the
Right.
middle. If you plant yourself in the middle, you're going to be okay.
But I'm telling you, dude, as long as we get along,
Yep.
you can stay there for the rest of your fucking life,
Like,
and your boys
seriously.
too.
Yep.
And they're kids.
Right? Like we have an idea, we have our own family, we want to leave a legacy, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen the way we see it playing out.
right.
Like it's
No, there's gonna be additions.
right. Like
Yeah.
we are open to reality.
All I'm saying
happening,
is-
and like
It's just
Get
the
out there.
start.
All you need to
Yeah.
do is provide a mobile home, and remember,
if you have a place to
every
cook
time
and a
you have
refrigerator.
to go get supplies. Like we're 30 minutes out of, or
And
30
it
to
is a
40
long
minutes
drive to
outside
traveling, so you kind
of
of want
like
a
a
car
grocery
and
store.
yeah.
Well, the guy that I know sells RVs, and he was talking to me about a size that I would need for the boys and the dogs. And it has, I mean, like, there's RVs that have fucking washers and dryers and like kitchens.
Oh, dude, there are RVs that are full-blown homes. Yep, you're right.
Oh yeah,
I
there's
didn't know
big
that.
ones.
Oh, yep.
Like the one we're staying in right now, it's big enough.
I mean, it's old. It's older.
No, but it's
so,
big.
mean,
I saw it when I picked up
Yeah.
Bo, and I was like, oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. It's older, it's whatever, but it's like it's fucking pretty big if we were to like put the
But I
It
feel
is
like this is a
way
necessary
bigger than
thing.
your
Just looking
Suburban.
in the future, and not even looking at my own life, but looking at lives that
like
come
life
after me,
happening
or my little shits. That,
and my involvement in it.
yeah.
Yeah.
And look, my kids, when I talk to them, and they don't talk to me much anymore now that they're grown-ups, because trust me, I was a kid raising
And you know
kids,
what's cool is
and
yeah.
they're kind of kids, and
Okay.
whatever. Point is, when you can look back on things and you can actually like understand, like my kids really miss the times that we were closer together, as opposed to the times that I were able to provide them more space.
So what I'm thinking is, we've got the best land, like the land and how it's it's zoned is
there's
agricultural general, which I think is a really good thing,
right,
because
and there's still land
we can have
available around us,
livestock, we
too.
can grow gardens,
Mhm.
and that's what I would like when you go out there, is like
Yeah.
starting to do that, like
Yep.
creating rows, like you're just getting ready because it's going to be cold.
Yep. I know,
And,
unfortunately, right now
at this
it's gonna be
point, like in
cold.
the winter, you know,
Mhm.
you're not going to be
Yeah.
able to do much other than start to like grow
But you get
seeds.
to sit out there and
But-
you go, okay, from this middle ground, and I'm telling you, please hit the middle ground. I know that's
And
for
we'll be out there in
but-
June, but I think we need to have a space for
Yes.
people like that
hit
are
that middle spot of
traveling through.
all three spaces.
People that are coming through and need a camp space, because there's
Mhm.
a lot of people out there
Yes.
our age or older.
Yep.
Right.
It's not the
Traveling
millennials.
through,
The
going
millennials
somewhere
are doing
else.
it, but
Yep.
mostly it's Gen X and older than
Yep.
that. You know, there's a lot of people that have to do this because their retirement isn't paying them enough.
And
I
there's people
Hey,
that
I
just-
know when my parents when they got a divorce, they sold the house and they got an RV and they just traveled. And so I
Yeah.
know like a spot like this is perfect in conjunction with that, because
Yeah, so
those
we
are the
let out that
land where they
land.
were. Right.
We let out that land and we charge $10. Like,
Turn it up, I can't
pack
hear
in your trash, pack out your trash.
you. Yep.
We'll
Right.
give like one, like, you know, maybe eventually we'll get a dumpster.
And that's what I'm
But
saying.
we
If
can't
we
do
can
that
find
yet.
like a
So we
quarter,
get like a
acre.
55-gallon metal drum, and we let people, you know, throw some things away,
Right.
just for our own pickup,
Well, what
like so
I'm
we can make
saying-
sure it's clean.
Yeah.
And the land is
So
cleaned
I'm
up.
saying if we take a quarter of an acre and we dedicate it to those that actually want to like camp, like with some
No, probably
camp
an acre.
spots and
Probably an
fire.
acre right now.
Yes. Okay. Well,
And then we pay off the land with
but
that.
what I'm saying
with
is, though,
what we're earning, we
we
pay
have a
off the
certain
land.
area where
And
we're
when
doing
we
camp
pay,
spots
we make enough. We pay enough.
and
We pay into
fire
the fire
pits
department.
and
Why are
certain
we talking,
spots
dude?
where we're okay. Whatever. I'm shutting up. I guess.
A quarter acre of land is cool, but it's not gonna serve.
What I'm saying is for certain types of things, and I'm not saying it only has to be.
And maybe this should be talked about. Like, why are we talking about this on the podcast?
Exactly. I'm trying to start small and understand that it starts with a small
we have 3
space and
acres of land. We
expansion.
got to utilize
exactly.
And I hope to have
We don't
more.
want to make every single one of those plots a fucking campground because we want to have a certain idea of homesteads and like retreats and campgrounds.
Yes, which we have 1 acre for people that are coming through.
Baby.
We
That's
have
all
2
I'm trying to
acres for
say.
the retreats and everything else.
All I'm trying to say.
Okay, well that's what I was saying.
But you were like trying to make me think, oh, you're thinking too small. Oh my God, what are you doing?
No, I'm just like with the quarter acre for like renting out. Like we
because
need to use
I am still a fucking
we need to utilize a whole acre for that.
Baby.
That's how we're gonna pay off the land.
I'm like distantly challenged.
Because all that money's gonna go toward the land and paying it off.
I am a distantly challenged person.
But we're gonna do it. Okay, but what I'm saying is we're gonna do it from measurements. I know.
Yeah, I'm not great with that shit.
Anyway, what I'm saying is, and this is my vision. We have 2 acres, but we loan an acre out. Like it's still our acreage.
Yes.
But we rent it out. Christy goes there.
Yes.
She's set up with an RV or a place to live for a while because we're gonna start building. We're gonna have to build. Like that's just the way it is. I'm gonna build a house. Hopefully out of concrete.
Well, look.
But anyway, what I'm saying is, while we're doing that, we allow some of that land to be used by people that are like the drifters or
going
are like
through. Like
and we still that means we need to have security because we're gonna let anybody in. We gotta be able to secure the land.
Or whatever. Yes.
Dogs or
we
guns.
know who's coming in.
If I have guns, trust me,
out.
I won't be on any.
All I'm saying is
anything that they can take me down for. It's gonna be.
We don't want like that. And this is the thing.
So I won't be smoking weed.
My first thing.
But for some reason they let you drink and have guns. Sorry.
All I'm saying is
both,
I was thinking that our biggest thing would be like getting off our area, right? Like having a back entrance and a forward.
But what we need first is we need to have boots on the ground
like,
so we know
exactly
what we're
and
working
the reason,
with. And I think we have flatland.
The reason that I would like her to go find the middle space first. Now, fill out the grounds.
Yeah.
Understand you need a spot. Find your spot. But if you find that middle ground, you're safe enough within the grounds that no one should fuck with you.
What we're saying, if you want to go out there and you're ready to go out there, it's there.
That's right.
Yep. I got it. That
is our vision. That's our vision. How we start.
Fuck with you.
Now we're going to build a geothermal area for plants during the winter and the summer.
I think we get very little freezing temperatures, so we got to worry about it, but not too much.
We want to build a cage for chickens, and then we want to build, in a roost.
Now here's the thing: I want my egg chickens.
We're going to. I shouldn't say
chickens.
We want to because all is mind, and that's where the mind is taking me right now.
That's right. I don't love the idea of killing anything, but I want my own meat.
But that's the whole thing is we pay somebody else to kill our meat. And what they do is like really fucking brutal because it just becomes like a number.
Yeah.
But if we do that, we actually did have a relationship.
Yep.
And I know some of it's brutal.
It is.
Dark, light, gray, it's all fucking there.
Hey, look.
I like chicken. I like meat. Eventually I would rather grow bison or raise bison than cattle because bison don't overgraze the land. And the land we have is like agricultural. So it's like built for fucking cows. Mm-hmm. But the same thing that's built for cows is built for bison.
Yep.
Like I think about a lot of this shit. It's not
and give you more, which is why the natives depended on it so much and the reason that we killed them off. So, but anyway, yeah.
So that's why we're doing this whole thing. That's why
That's
we're
right.
doing the podcast. We're asking for supporters and people that can help.
Yeah.
And yes, it is part of the podcast, but all that money, a lot of that money is going to be directed right toward the land and invested.
Mm-hmm.
And if we can buy more land, and we will,
dude, the land
we're going to buy
right now,
enough land that many people can come out there. You can stay there free, but you just have to develop.
Right.
You just have to make it. We all have something to offer, but you have to make it something that people want to come to.
Right. So we're
people
not
that are
growing
like
something
not
in our
wanting to
garden
follow
that
all the
you're not
rules of the
growing.
establishment are like, you know what, I need to get the fuck out of here, and I need a place to stay for a while until I create my own,
Right.
or I stay and create what they're doing.
And you know what? I gotta give.
That's the kind of land that's what we're offering.
I gotta give some credits to California right now because they're actually, you know what? They're fucked up in a lot of ways, like so many.
But when it comes to
but their
welfare,
human to human contact, their welfare system, they actually have people really trying to help people. How do I know? Because I simply just want to get my mouth fixed. And I was talked to like a human, but in Utah.
Anthony says, what are your thoughts on solar cells? I think that they work. I think that they have a place.
Okay.
But I think you need a lot of other things to run operations.
Yes.
Like if we knew how to like just harness all of the Earth's power and
properly
do it ourselves and refine
balance.
our own shit, and that's where we need to go.
Yep.
Like we need to learn how to do things that most of us don't. We would just rather pay for.
Imagination,
because we're being put in this place of you're going to be totally dependent on this.
Okay, which is what I was saying. I want everyone to pretend now, right now, for just a minute. Let's just pretend. They told us that we were so primitive. We had to use candles and fire for our light. That was our only light. And even that took us a while to figure out. However, we had castles and we had kingdoms and we had all these big, massive fucking things. Am I really to believe we were doing all of this with a lit fucking log, walking around hallways of beautifully built fucking earthen built homes? Now, I'm going to go to say the earth will help you build your home. It may not have taken a whole lot of technology, however, it did. But they want you to believe that you were in some just random cave that was just caved out because it was caved out by nature. But nature's not nature, because nature will only... Can we not see the deception in just our genealogy that we have been fed for so long? People have been migrating, working, doing, living, experiencing, inventing for many years. They've only got so many of those years written down somewhere. And then they want you to question the ones that are older than that because, well, we know these ones. Being able to connect to your mind, your body, and your soul. Understand your present time, but see all your possibilities and integrate it into your now decision.
Yep. Let's finish this one up, babe. What do you guys think?
All is mind.
I'm coughing.
The universe
having issues right now.
Is mental.
Not really, but.
But the reason that we are so powerful is that we've been given this mental body that should we connect properly. And truly, don't compare yourself to anyone. Just connect your mental body to your physical body and know how fucking powerful you are.
That's right. Much love, everybody.
I love you.
We love you all. See you next time. Have a great night.